tatta dhimta takita dhimta dhimta tam.
Hello everyone, this is Padma. Welcome to my channel. On this channel I share with you practices and philosophy from ancient goddess traditions from my culture, which is India. And today I am really looking forward to sharing with you a beautiful prayer to Goddess Earth. And I'm hoping that this will be a timely invocation for you to start 2022. One of the reasons I'm offering this prayer to you is that it's no news to anyone that we have had a really challenging couple of years. There's been a lot of chaos, division, fragmentation, within and without, of course, because when there is division and fragmentation and disorder in the external consciousness, it's inevitable that it also affects us within ourselves and within our own bodies and minds. The ancient invocation of earth was not just invoking earth as something that we live upon, something that we just walk on, and something that all of this is provided to us and we are separate to it. The invocation was the earth in us, because we are the earth. And what does that mean? It is something other than what we think largely about our relationship to earth these days, because we think about us being saviors of the earth. We think about the earth being a kind of inert, powerless victim who we have to save. Whereas the truth is that the earth is fierce, vital, living, essential, moving, and intelligent, autonomous consciousness, completely in her own right. And we are that too, because we are the earth. And so the invocation of the earth body, the earth consciousness in us, is that sensation of being abundant, vital, having a lot of energy that is not fragmented, that is not divided, because whenever there's fragmentation, it dissipates a lot of energy. And this is about finding that energy that is in the moment and that is tremendous, that is propelling, just like the earth herself. And when we connect with that sensation of the earth, we know, we feel, actually we don't really know it in the mind, it's something that we sense in the bodies. We sense how intelligence is everywhere. When we connect with that earth intelligence in us, then we sense the intelligence everywhere. You know, in these butterflies, I don't know if you can see them, flitting all around, the trees, the soil, the earth, the ants. There is intelligence everywhere. There is connection everywhere. There is a sense of community between us and all of life. And that is that sense of continuum that brings a source of action in the external world that is not coming out of a disordered state. Because when we are divided and fragmented, our actions are also going to be so. And you can see how the separation from our earth body, from our earth consciousness, has brought us to these times where, you know, all our actions are divided and fragmented, and dividing and fragmenting whatever we do in the external world. So I do hope that this will be a way of beginning 2022 for all of us, that will bring us to the source of where we begin. And we begin, and we always belong to that earth body in us. So please join me in this prayer to Goddess Earth. We start with the line Vishnu Shakti Samutpanne. So she is Shakti, the force, the energy, vitality, consciousness behind Vishnu. Vishnu is manifestation. So she is what is the propulsion, the impulsion behind the manifestation, what gives it movement. It's not just about giving it life and consciousness. Shakti is movement, what gives it movement. And you will see that when I do the movement here. So the movement here is of the goddess with the trident. The goddess with the trident that pierces through. So movement is that which pierces through form. It's not something that is static in form. The form is only the beginning, and the movement goes much beyond form. So join me here. Vishnu Shakti Samutpanne. So you lift the leg, and it's a leaping out of nowhere. It's only momentary, because movement is always transient. It's always in the moment. It's not a pose. So again, Vishnu Shakti Samutpanne. Widen the eyes. Vital, present, seeing everything, taking in, sensory. There's nothing about withdrawal or asceticism here. So Vishnu Shakti Samutpanne. And the next one, Chitravarne Mahitale, which is this expanse, Mahi, the expansive space, domain, is Chitravarna. It's of multiple colors. So there's multiplicity. Multiplicity is a nature of reality. Our minds want to make it very simple, but the practice is about, can we hold this constellation of reality, of many opposite and different things all happening in the same moment. So Chitravarne, it's like the scattering. It's like you scatter these different colored flowers. And so the feet and the hands, Chitravarne Mahitale. It's expand and scatter. So Chitravarne Mahitale. Vishnu Shakti Samutpanne. Chitravarne Mahitale. Keep the hips loose. Chitravarne Mahitale. Aneka Ratna Sampanne. The one who is, to whom all the precious things belong, the precious gems, the precious stones, all of the things that we dig up from the ground. Well, it belongs to the earth. And when we connect to the earth, there is a communal guardianship, but only when we are connected, not in a sense of the savior role, where we put ourselves above the earth, but when we connect to that, when we are of that same energy, power, ferocity as the earth, then it also belongs to us. So, Aneka Ratna Sampanne, so that holding, that custodianship in a way, or that responsibility, yes. And this is all those glittering, shining things in the depths. It's also about our own body, that some of the most important things, some of the most, what can we say, valuable aspects of ourselves are in our own depths, just like it is for the earth. And we come into a certain connection with that, and a responsibility and a knowledge. I don't mean knowledge, the head knowledge, but kind of sensory knowledge, when we also inquire into our own depths. So here we are, and on the balls of the feet and hips loose, Chitravarne Mahitale. So this is at the chest, Chitravarne Mahitale. Sorry, the line is Aneka Ratna Sampanne. Aneka Ratna Sampanne. So if we go back, Vishnu Shakti Samutpanne. Chitravarne Mahitale. Aneka Ratna Sampanne. And this goddess in us, through us, Bhumi Devi is goddess earth, through us. We touch the ground to our eyes. Namostute. So we invoke this goddess. Then the next part, Samudra Vasane Devi. Samudra is the ocean. Vasane Devi, the one whose yoni, hips, the one whose hips are ornamented with the oceans. So here Again, the second chakra, water, the flow. So you connect with the earth. So it's not flow as we think. It's very weighted flow. It's a transfer of weight. So you lift the hips like a wave, and then the wave falls down. Lift the wave down. Samudra vasane devi. Samudra vasane devi. So this is the second part of the prayer. Then we'll put the two parts together. So Samudra vasane devi, that weighted flow which has a momentum. It's like water that flows, flowing water that's always in the moment. It's not a stagnant pool. It's a flowing water, but it still has energy, momentum, movement. Samudra vasane devi, parvata sthana mandale, the one whose breasts hold the mountains. And so here is this beautiful movement in dance which goes to, like I said, we always go beyond words in movement. So here we come forward, we bring our weight forward, and it's like you hold the mountain, but you're articulated in the hips. So in a way this still continues the flow in the hips, but it's like you're being propelled, and there's enormous strength here, opening and strength. Parvata sthana mandale. And when you do this as a movement, if you have more space and you do this as a movement, you will see that it's like this. It doesn't come from your head. The weight and the propulsion, so when you do, you forward and you go forward, there's this propulsion that happens because of the weight, the strength of the chest and the weight coming through along the ground. In a certain way, it's like that water just flowing. You're taken, but how are you taken? With enormous presence, strength, openness, readiness, without resistance, but not passively. That it's not the surrender that we think of, which is passive, but here it's the being taken where you are ready, you're present, you're vital, you're ready for the adventure. So you can use any leg, and coming forward, Parvata sthana mandale. Parvata sthana mandale. Natyam karishya bhudevi. So as we dance on you, and the dancing, the iconic dance, so now we've got this, we bring all of that information we have in our body. The one who is the vitality, the insight behind form, the one who can hold multiplicity, the one whose best and most valuable secrets, in a way, are not what you see, but are hidden. And you need to inquire into the depths in order to come to it, in order to sense it, in order to allow its own emergence in your own body. The one who has this ongoing flow without resistance, moving with everything, movement with everything around, fitting in, being part of. Not you hold yourself separately and you conquer things, change things, but you flow just like the water. There's a little creek here which is dry at the moment, but it just flows around just like that. And the one whose body is strong, holding those mountains. So as you flow, they say even about the water, they say it's like the strength of a whole herd of horses So there is such power in this flow. It's not, a passive flow. It's that power, that presence. And so all of that comes into this dance now. So the heart is open, the arms are around, and you have the flow, and the eyes look sideways, which stands for that multiplicity. Everything, it's not just what you see in front, it's everywhere. And down, it's about the depths, where all that precious aspects, your consciousness, what is most precious in you, your source, is hidden there. So the awareness of all that. Natyam karishya bhudevi. And again, pada ghata kshamasvame. So, pada ghata kshamasvame. Please bear with us as we. Ghata means both to strike and to stroke. So we can make that choice. Are we striking or are we stroking? So let's say as we stroke, let's say in 2022, we stroke Goddess Earth with our dancing on this beautiful gift of a home within us and outside of us, and we ask her, thank her for her forbearance of all of that we manifest and all of that we do. So I know this is slightly longer than the usual practices, but I'm hoping that it will be something that you can begin 2022 with, and that I hope that it will bring you that connection. It will bring you the emergence of the earth in your body, which is our body, that connection with the intelligence, the wisdom, the compassion, the abundance, the strength of our bodies. No matter who we are, we have this because we have the earth in us. It is not about what we're doing and how we look, or it has got nothing to do with all that, because we are of the earth, and these qualities of the earth are also in us. And when we reconnect with that, we have a sensation of the infinite possibilities and the abundance of support. And I get quite emotional when I say this, but it's like she really holds your hand and is there with you no matter what happens. And I really hope that you will also feel this through this prayer to Goddess Earth. Thank you for your company. I hope you open 2022 in a very auspicious and loving way, and I look forward to your company and your support and your blessings for this channel in the year to come. Thank you.